I'm pleased to join you at the opening of the second International Conference on the Advancements of Artificial Intelligence in African Context, AAIAC 2026. I thank the University of Dodoma and the Nelson Mandela African Institute of Science and Technology and Afri-AI Lab IEEE Tanzania chapter and partners in the AI4D network for convening this important conference. The theme, Harnessing Artificial Intelligence for an Inclusive and Sustainable Digital Economy in Africa, speaks to a question that Africa can no longer postpone. I've been informed that this year's conference attracted more than 100 paper submissions, with 45 papers accepted following a rigorous review process. Most accepted papers came from international authors outside Tanzania. This remarkable achievement demonstrates the growing stature of AAIAC as an important platform for advancing artificial intelligence research in Africa and beyond, and will support this initiative beyond even the partnership funding. So the government will have to put a hand to ensure that this conference becomes sustainable. The second international conference, the Advancements of Artificial Intelligence in the African Context, builds on the first AAIAC conference held in 2023. That first gathering reminded us that Africa should not remain a passive user of artificial intelligence. It called for African scholars, innovators, policymakers, and industry leaders to shape AI in ways that respond to African needs. Today, we continue that journey with a broader participation, stronger evidence, and a clearer call for practical action. Artificial intelligence is changing how economies grow, how institutions work, and how people live. Africa, it is a promise. It's a promise and it's real. AI can support better healthcare, stronger agriculture, improved education, safer financial services, smarter public services, climate action, and new opportunities for work. Yet this promise will not save Africa by chance. We must guide it with purpose, evidence, ethics, and inclusion. This conference matters because it brings the right voices into one room. It brings together researchers, innovators, policymakers, industry leaders, and development partners. It also brings local and international voices into one serious conversation. Africa needs strong internal capacity. It also needs fair global partnerships and respect African priorities, African data, African languages, and African institutions. As the host country, Tanzania welcomes this conversation with a clear sense of purpose. Tanzania's Development Vision 2050 recognizes science, technology, research, innovation, and digital transformation as important drivers for development. This national direction sits well with the wider African agenda of this conference. It reminds us that AI must support human development, productivity, inclusion, and public value. The government of the United Republic of Tanzania has placed digital transformation, science, technology, research, and innovation at the center of national development. The Ministry of Education, Science, and Technology is implementing this vision through the Education and Training Policy, Chapter 2023, which recognizes digital technologies and artificial intelligence as essential enablers of quality, equitable, and relevant education. The ministry is progressively integrating digital competencies and AI-related skills across all levels of education, strengthening ICT infrastructure in learning institutions, promoting digital teaching and learning resources, supporting research and innovation, and expanding partnerships with universities, industry, and development partners. Through initiatives such as the National Digital Economy Framework, the National Research Agenda, the Samia Scholarship Program, and investments in data science and artificial intelligence programs in higher education, Tanzania is progressing well in building a critical mass of skilled professionals who will contribute to national development while strengthening Africa's collective capacity in artificial intelligence. The program before us shows the practical importance of this conference. It covers AI in governance, health, education, cybersecurity, fintech, agriculture, climate action, local languages, and responsible innovation. These are not distant technical topics. They affect farmers, patients, students, teachers, public servants, entrepreneurs, and young people seeking decent work. AI must prove its value in these real settings. We must also speak honestly about the barriers Africa still faces gaps in infrastructure, computing capacity, research funding, quality data, and specialized skills. Many African languages remain poorly represented in digital systems. Women, youth, persons with disabilities, rural communities, and other marginalized groups still need stronger inclusion in AI research and innovation. If we ignore these gaps, AI may widen inequality. If we address them, AI can support shared progress. Responsible use of AI must guide our work. We need systems that protect privacy, support accountability, and earn public trust. Citizens must know how their data is used. Public institutions must understand the limits and risks of AI decisions. Innovators must design tools that are fair, safe, and useful. Trust will determine whether digital transformation succeeds or not. I am encouraged by the work of Afri-AI Lab, whose focus on research, human capacity development, innovation, Africa origin data, policy evidence, and inclusive partnerships is vital. Our universities must continue publishing impactful research while building datasets, prototypes, patents, standards, policy briefs, startups, and solutions that directly serve communities. The future of work demands a fundamental transformation of our education systems. This calls for changing the way we prepare our graduates for an AI-driven economy. In Tanzania, the Ministry of Education, Science, and Technology is advancing curriculum reforms, digital learning, competence-based education, research excellence, and deeper university-industry collaboration to ensure graduates are job-ready. Our ambition is to nurture African innovators who create technologies that address African priorities while contributing to global knowledge. Achieving this requires more than digital skills. It demands the cultivation of critical thinking, ethical reasoning, creativity, entrepreneurship, interdisciplinary collaboration, and a commitment to lifelong learning. As we advance AI, we must keep humanity at the center. Ubuntu, or in Kiswahili, utu, reminds us that technology must save people and strengthen society. Responsible AI in the African context must protect dignity, widen opportunity, and include those who are often left behind. It must respect our languages, laws, communities, and duty to future generations. I invite all participants to embrace this conference as an opportunity to build African data sets with integrity, invest in Kiswahili and the other African languages, and strengthening collaboration across governments, universities, industry, and partners. Above all, let us ensure Africa becomes a creator of artificial intelligence, developing technologies that solve African challenges and enrich global knowledge. In closing, I congratulate the organizers for their vision and commitment. I welcome all participants to Tanzania and wish you fruitful discussions. May AAIAC 2026 strengthen Africa's voice in the global AI agenda. May it help us build a digital economy that is inclusive, sustainable, ethical, and worthy of our people. It is now my honor to officially open the second international conference on the advancements of artificial intelligence in the African context, AAIAC 2026. Thank you very much for your attention.